the derivative of the following. Now we have a, b, c, and d. We have different functions. Y equal to 3x power 3 plus 4x squared. Y equal to 12x squared minus 4x. Y equal to 2x cubed plus 4x squared plus 8. Now we have all of this. It's very simple. And remember, you can do all of this. You can do this within a minute, less than a minute, less than a minute, less than a minute. You know, you can do it. It's very simple. You don't need to be afraid. Remember, this is calculus. It's very simple. Now let's get started. Let's take our a. Remember our a, we have y is equal to what? 3x power 3 plus 4x squared, or 4x power 2. Now, how are you going to do this? If you're asked to find the derivative of this function, it simply means you're also asked to differentiate that function. You get? Very simple. Now, I will introduce something to you. Here's the solution. If you have a function, for example, if you have y to the power is equal to x power n, a function like this, it means that your dy over dx, which is your derivative, is equal to n, this n, times x. The n multiplies the x, power n minus 1, and you subtract 1 from it. This n multiplies the x, and then you subtract 1 from the n. That means n times x power n minus 1, which is the same thing as what? Nx. Because n times x is what? Nx power what? N minus 1. Now apply this rule into solving this. This n is the 3, while the x is the 3x. This n is the 2, while the x is the 4x. You can see, you can just use this to solve this. Now we are going to, remember we did n times x. N times x, so it's going to be what? 3, this 3 times 3x power what? 3 minus 1. Here is n minus 1 plus, the same thing applies, 2 times 4x power 2 minus 1. You get? So 3 times 3x will give us what? 9x. 3 minus 1 is what? 2. So it means that the derivative of 3x power 3 is what? 9x squared plus 1. Now we have 2 times 4x is what? 8x. And then 2 minus 1 is what? 1, which is the same thing as what? 9x squared plus 8x. No? And that is simply the derivative of the first one. Is it hard? It's not hard. It's very simple. Now let's progress to the second one we have. Now, the second one, let me just take it here. So if we are taking our b, remember our y is equal to what? Our y is equal to 12x squared minus 4x. Now, using that same principle, remember, let me just put here dy over dx is equal to this, or dy over dx. So if you want to differentiate this, bring it down. Dy over dx is equal to this 2 here, with 2 times 12x power 2 minus 1. Minus, remember here is power 1. So 1 times 2 will be 1 times 4, 1 times 4 into x. Power here is power 1, so 1 minus 1. You get 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1. So here we was 1 minus 1, and then close the brackets. 1 minus 1. Now let's come down here. 2 times 12x will give us what? 24x. 2 minus 1 is 1, minus 1 times 4 is what? 4. Now let's look at this into x power 1 minus 1 is what? 0. Now this is our final side. We are going to have 24x, because 24x power 1 is the same thing as 24x. Minus, now x power 0. Remember, in indices, any number raised to the power of 0 except 0 itself, any number raised to the power of 0 is equal to what? 1. You get? Now, since we have x power 0, it means x power 0 is equal to 1. So 4 times minus 4 times 1 will give us what? Minus 4. You get? And our dy over our dx will be equal to this. Now that's for the second one. Now let's go for the last one. Our c, we have y to be equal to what? 2x cubed plus 4x squared plus 8. How are you going to do this? It's still very simple. Now, our dy over our dx is equal to this 3. We are using only this 2. That's what we are using. At this point, the n stands for 3, the x stands for 2x, the n stands for 2 here, and then x stands for 4x. You get? Very simple. Now, using that, we are going to have 3 times 2x power what? 3 minus 1 plus 2 times 4x power what? 2 minus 1. Now this is what in another way we need to know. In differentiation, the derivative of a constant. This is a number, a coefficient attached to an unknown. A coefficient attached to an unknown. You know what why I call it unknown is because the value of x here we don't know. So it is known as what? An unknown. So this 8 is attached to nothing. It's just 8 alone. So if you want to differentiate a normal number that does not have a variable attached to it, it means it is 0. So the derivative of a constant is what? 0. So this is going to be what? 0 because the derivative of a constant is 0. So it's out of the way. What we have here is the y over the x is equal to what? 3 times 2x, we are going to have 6x. 3 minus 1 is 2 plus 2 times 4x, we are going to have 8x. 2 minus 1 is what? 1. So this means that our dy over our dx will be equal to what? 6x squared plus 8x. And that becomes the solution to the problem. Is it very hard? No, it's very easy and simple as ABC. Now I've done the first one, which is here. I've done the second one, which is also here. I've done the third one, which is here. Now, if you know you have been following what I've been doing, can you use your time and do this last one? Do the number D, the last one, and drop the answer in the comment section of this video. I will see you in my next class. Bye.